I have spent 5 weeks in Liberia over the past 3 months, reporting on an outbreak of Ebola that, in the words of one Liberian doctor I met, threatened to erase his country from the map of Africa.
Guys, look out!
Ebola is a devastating disease, and the reporting was both heart-wrenching and horrifying.
Have you touched him? Don't touch him.
But for every time I wrote about rising death tolls, I met extraordinary men and women who risked everything, from disease to distrust and even death, to stop Ebola from taking more lives.
Ebola is very scary. You have to have courage.
One of the heights of Ebola, there was nowhere for anyone to go. There's dead bodies on the ground.
These are their stories.
Being a doctor in Liberia is just sacrificial from beginning to end. You're not making anything. It's almost like a volunteer job. My first experience as an Ebola patient, the lab technician walked in with the spacesuit, and he was taking every precaution not to touch and not to get infected himself. I could see the fear in his eyes. When the test results came back that evening and I was told that I was Ebola positive, something strange happened. I relaxed, because I was happy it was not malaria. Luckily, we got a place at ELWA treatment center where they found a spot. Sadly, somebody had just passed, and now I was going to take their spot. Interestingly, they put me into a room where I had the guy who we assume I got the infection from lying right next to me. At one time, I was hiccuping with every breath, so they thought I wasn't going to make it. And they were even discussing whether I would be cremated or buried. I thank God to just be alive, because with such a close call, I consider myself like somebody who's come back from the dead.
My name is Katie Myler, and I'm the founder of More Than Me. I wasn't really afraid for our girls or for More Than Me because it was in Lofa County, it was far away.
And who is Esther? Where's Esther?
Eventually it hit JFK Hospital, which is one of the main hospitals here in the capital. And that's when people started to get afraid. And everyone's thinking, if this thing gets to West Point, the country's in trouble because it's the most densely populated area in West Africa. So we got this ambulance specifically for West Point, and we pull up to Redemption Hospital, and they're pulling dead bodies out of Redemption. It doesn't seem like people are moving fast enough, and like everyone is accepted. It feels like the families have accepted. In this crazy scene of death and dying and dead bodies and screaming and crying and mourning, is this cute little 3 to 4 year old girl with her pink party dress on, just sitting on the steps of this ambulance with no symptoms of Ebola. You want a doll, baby? Okay, I'll bring you one. My name's Katie. Nice to meet you. I love you. Her mom died, and now the girl had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Please keep her safe away.
Yeah.
This was going on all over the place. I mean, I started to see it more and more. And she was the first child that I got close to, and I was like, she cannot stay at Redemption Hospital, because if this girl, she might have Ebola, she might not. If she doesn't have it, she's definitely going to get it, and most likely she'll die because there's no help here at Redemption. So that's what this house became. It was called Housing Observation and Pediatric Evaluation for 21 days.
Loud, 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 loud.
So that was the first child, and one of the nurses brought her here.
Hi, Perlina.
But only for like extreme emergencies where like kids literally would be homeless.
My name is Fode Gala. I happen to be the supervisor of the district number 13 ambulances. And I believe it was my calling, so once I'm called to do this, I always love to help people. We have to have passion, we have to have feelings, we have to have care. I actually got sick trying to help a family of 8 that I really tried to help, but 7 of them had to lose their life to the Ebola virus. The worst part was that people that I moved in with in the ETU, they died right before my eyes. So I feel good picking up people and driving to the centers and seeing them coming out. So this is the reason why I really, really love to help to take people to the center, have them treated, and have them come home to their family.
What I went through in life, some of those things have had impact on my desire to help, say, relieve people out of their suffering.
There's a family of 9. I think there were about 14 that got infected. And out of the 14, we have 9 survivors.
There are a lot of things I've really learned from this outbreak. One of which is being able to look around yourself and see what you can use that's available to find a remedy to the situation, than just sitting and waiting for a remedy from outside. What's in your power, how you can make use of what's available.
My name's Ella Watson-Striker. I'm working with MSF as a health promoter. That means that my job is primarily focused on making sure that people have the information they need about Ebola. When you have countries where there's no functioning disease surveillance system, it means that a virus can circulate for months in a rural area without anyone noticing. It wasn't until a doctor was infected and died that someone started to say, wait a minute, this is not normal, we need to investigate. This is something that we allow to happen. It will continue in this way until better systems are put in place. And if anything comes out of this outbreak, I hope it's that we learn how to be better at looking at health status in rural and urban communities both, and in areas where people don't have good access to health care.
When we started having survival here at the unit, then people started coming to the ETU in large numbers.
What's your total number of releases? I know you've
Total
been
number of releases.
one of the units that have released
I know
more
we
people.
have more than 200 now.
I'm doing it because if I wasn't here on the ground doing my job, I would be in the US reading newspapers and saying someone needs to be doing something.
I thought my whole life I had nothing, and here are people who don't have drinking water or a hospital in their villages, and I wanted to help, you know. And regardless of your religion, I think that, like, I know for sure, like, even if I died during Ebola, at least I lived for something I believed in.
Somebody has to do the job. I'm looking at like we're fighting a war, and we all have to play our part, and I just feel that it's a duty that I have to go back, okay, until we can get rid of it entirely.